Good morning. This is Monday, January 12th, 2015. Isn't it amazing how much things we have to do, and yet we have one thing to do, to seek His kingdom first. First on my agenda today is to read from My Utmost for His Highest. Have you ever been alone with God? Mark 4:34. When they were alone, He expounded all things to His disciples. Our solitude with Him. Jesus does not take us alone and expound things to us all the time. He expounds things to us as we can understand them. Other lives are parables. God is making us spell out our own souls. It is slow work, so slow that it takes God all time and eternity to make a man and woman after His own purpose. The only way we can be of use to God is to let Him take us through the crooks and crannies of our own characters. It is astounding how ignorant we are about ourselves. We do not know envy when we see it, or laziness, or pride. Jesus reveals to us all that this body has been harboring before His grace began to work. How many of us have learned to look in with courage? We have to get rid of the idea that we understand ourselves. It is the last conceit to go. The only one who understands us is God. The greatest curse in spiritual life is conceit. If we have ever had a glimpse of what we are like in the sight of God, we shall never say, "Oh, I am so unworthy," because we shall know we are, beyond the possibility of stating it. As long as we are not quite sure that we are unworthy, God will keep narrowing us in until He gets us alone. Wherever there is any element of pride or conceit, Jesus cannot expound a thing. He will take us through the disappointment of a wounded pride of intellect, through the disappointment of heart. He will reveal inordinate affections, things over which we never thought He would have to get us alone. We listen to many things in classes, but they are not an exposition to us yet. They will be when God gets us alone over them. That sounds a bit like the proverbial being taken behind the woodshed. My brothers and sisters and will recall the many times, or the few times, I'm sure it felt like many, that when Dad did not feel we were living up to standard, would take us back to the study to have a little talk. I kind of dreaded those, but at the same time I know now, and at the time I did, that they were done in love. When God takes us alone, His intention for us is not harm, but good. He wants to kill out in us those things that are not holy, that are not a part of Himself. Some of us have things that we cling to that He allows in order for us to feel comfort. I remember as a small child I had a small blanket that I called my soft cover, and that was my source of security. I don't know where it is now. God allows those things in our lives, but at times when we're ready to give them up, He's ready to take them away. God is constantly calling us to be more and more and more dependent upon Him. And He's calling us to release those things that are temporary, those things that do not satisfy, but seem to be satisfying on a short-term basis. I pray that God give you courage to get alone with Him, to allow you to release those things that are in your hands that do not bring glory to God, to open your hands, to lift your hands in worship and surrender, and to say, take all of me, Jesus. I surrender all. And He'll gladly do it. Delight thyself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of thy heart. Delight thyself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of thy heart. I believe that's Psalms 37:4. I pray that you be delighted in God, and that He be delighted in you, and that as a result your life would be full of joy, and people around you will know that you have been with Jesus and that you are with Jesus. Blessed day.